get right through this recap. So we already knew Caleb was going to the Bears. We knew this for 2 years. Whoever had the first pick in this draft, they were getting him. And we knew for a whole year that Chicago was drafting him. Even while we had, Justin Fields doing his thing, they knew what they were going to do. And, because the O-line's not going to be great. It's not a great team, so you can't just have a guy that just sits in the pocket because he's going to get killed. He's going to get sacked. At least this guy can help your line out a little bit. Get some people at the games, watch him play. Young guy, he's going to make some mistakes, but, he's going to be able to grow and learn. Eventually you get a good offensive coach there because right now they have Dan Quinn. He's a good a good coach. He's just not known for coaching quarterbacks. So that's the only thing that scares me, but I think he'll be all right. He'll get that defense the way it's supposed to be. As long as he gets a good offensive coach, Jaden should be all right. So it's not a big surprise there. Third, Drake May. I mean, what did I say? I thought that the Vikings would trade up for this pick and pick Drake May, but either way, I thought Drake May was going number 3, whether it was the Patriots or the Vikings. So I guess the Vikings wanted the other kid more. We're going to get to him. I don't want to say him yet. So Drake May, I don't know that he works in New England. You have a defensive coach, basically a disciple of Bill Belichick. So it could be the same Mac Jones 2.0. This could be that, or it could be amazing. It really all depends on how they play him and how they use him. If they get a good offensive coordinator for him, this would be beautiful for Josh McDaniels. If they can somehow get Josh McDaniels in the building, which I don't think they can because I think Bill O'Brien is still there, which is a mistake. Bill O'Brien is past his time. He had his time in the NFL, but it's like most coaches, it's a 10-year cycle because you're stuck in your ways from most coaches, and they ride it out for 10 years, and then time kind of passes them by. There's very few coaches that adapt. Like Andy Reid adapts. Bill Belichick used to adapt until he didn't. You know what I mean? Now he's out of there. Now he's going to learn that he has to adapt. Pete Carroll, he did adapt. Stupid owner released him. You know what I mean? That's an aberration. But the point I'm saying is, if they get this wrong, they're all going to get fired. So they better make sure they have everything lined up for this kid because there's no receivers over there to speak of except for Kendrick Bourne, who isn't even that great. Would he start on anyone else's team? Probably not. You roll the dice on that. They have, Hunter Henry. That's a good policy, I guess. They have Stevenson at running back. Okay. Their O-line is okay. Defense is still intact. So let's get some playmakers. I would have loved to see a Malik Neighbors over there. That would have been nice. You know what I mean? Because Jacoby is probably going to start for the first few games, to say the least, unless he goes down. So you could have drafted a playmaker. I would have liked them to move up again to get another pick for another guy, but we'll see what they do on day 2. Let's not forget, the Patriots pick 3 again, right? So they could just get a wide receiver, depending on who's left. I don't know. I didn't see the board. I'm literally just walking in the door. All right, number 4, let's see. Marvin Harrison. Yeah, I thought he would go there too, to Arizona. That's not surprising. I didn't know he was 6'3", so that actually makes him more like Larry Fitzgerald. I thought he was more like his father, a 6-footer, but he's a bigger guy. So that actually makes him a little bit better of a prospect. So that's going to be good. Now Kyler has his receiver, his go-to young guy. He ain't going anywhere for at least 4 or 5 years. So neither is Kyler. So these two could literally ball together and grow together. So I really like that pick. That's a good pick. I didn't think he was going anywhere else but there. I saw this coming. I didn't even think Malik Neighbors was going there. Even though I thought Malik is a better prospect, I just thought, just because you got to think, Kyler Murray is a smaller quarterback. He's not known, he's accurate, but he's not known for his accuracy. So what does that mean? That means you got to get a quarter or a receiver with a bigger catch radius so he doesn't have to be as accurate. Just get it near him and he'll do the rest. Whereas you get a smaller guy, you got to be way more accurate and get the ball on him a lot more. So that's what that tells me. So we'll see how that plays out. I think they'll be good together. Number 5, I thought Malik Neighbors would go here. Like we all know, Michael Crabtree was trash, and he was able to go to a Super Bowl with him and Colin Kaepernick. So I should have known that this was going to be O lineman all the way, and they already have 2 tackles, so that tells me they're going to probably move Joe to guard, and just because he's a mauler and he's athletic, he can move. He used to play tight end, so he's 6'8", 6'9", and has great feet. Not too many of those on this planet. So when God grants you one of those, you got to take them. So I really, I can't fault him. I love the pick. Joe Alt, probably the better of all the picks. It's incredible. So, yeah. The way that Jim Harbaugh plays, he looks at linemen like a weapon, guys. Like, you know how most of us, we look at receivers and running backs as a weapon? He looks at O-linemen as a weapon. So he thinks that they're the tip of the spear. So he says, if I have these 5 guys, I can just push you anywhere I want. It makes everyone look better, right? If you have O-linemen that can move bodies, you don't need the best running back. You don't need the best quarterback. That's why he was able to win with Colin Kaepernick and Crabtree. Because if you have all that time back there, the receivers eventually are going to get open if you have 4, 5 seconds when normally you would have 2, 3. An extra 4 or 5 seconds is an eternity in the NFL. So if he's building this O-line the way I think he has and will, it's going to be very hard to beat this team. And they play defense first. So that's what he wants to do. He wants O-linemen, run the ball, play defense. He's really made for the 1980s playing with Buddy Ryan back then. That would have been great to see him play back then. But he learned from guys like that in that era. So that's why he's like this. And it works for him. We're all like, pick receiver, wide receiver. And he's just like, nah, give me O-lineman. Smash mouth football. I love the pick. Either if he picked Malik Neighbors, either way, they could have gone either way. But the Giants end up getting Malik Neighbors. Thing is, a great pick. I love the pick. But who's the quarterback again? Oh, yeah, Daniel Jones. Is he really going to get him the football consistently the way he should? We all know the answer to that. So this could be a waste of a pick. You know what I mean? Because Malik's a 6-foot guy. He's not a 6'3" guy, so you got to get the ball on him. They come at it a whole different way. Maybe he saw something in the tape that he can go at it differently. Or maybe, who knows, Dayball gets fired. Parcells back in the day. So who knows? He could come back to the Northeast and coach the Giants. There's a lot of places that this man can go. So this is a very big year for the Giants. Let's see what they do on night 2. We'll do a recap tomorrow. A lot quicker than this one. This one is a round 1, so we want to get the meat and potato. Honestly, I take that back because if you pick O-lineman, D-lineman, you can't go wrong either way. You really can't go wrong with an O-lineman or an edge rusher at all. Like, I'm not going to ever be mad at that. It's just the fact that you have a young quarterback in Will Levis. I know you have DeAndre. I know you have Ridley. But it would have been nice to have that Brock Bowers there. That would have solidified them. That would have given your quarterback more confidence. But let's see what they do at tight end. They still have more time. Atlanta, right? Please be my mentor. Teach the young kid how to do it. Maybe it lasts for only a year. If he gets to the playoffs for a year and then Penix beats him out, you know what I mean? You won that deal because that's what you paid him for. Because guess what? 66 quarterbacks played last year, so that means your quarterback is going down. So that means you need an insurance policy, which is a backup quarterback. Every team this year is going to need one. And if you don't have a good one, you're going to have to pay for one anyway, so why not draft one? Why not get someone who's going to be the next guy who gets the torch? And then you can replenish that way. That's how you got to look at it. Every great asset in America, a.k.a. the quarterbacks, has an insurance policy. You need to protect that. You know what I mean? O-lineman as well. That's your insurance for the quarterback. Same thing. It's really not a big deal. Think about it. Dak Prescott got paid $300 million. That's a catastrophe. Not paying Kirk Cousins, who had a basically MVP trajectory before the the Achilles, right? And we don't know how he's going to look. What if the dude can't even run anymore? What if he's hobbling? What if he doesn't look the same? What if he's not as athletic and he already wasn't athletic as it was to begin with? What if that? You didn't think of that. What if he just can't get the ball off and step into his throws as much? We don't know what he's going to look like next year. So they had to do this. This is just the way it had to be. And the owner is 81 years old, 82, so he is knocking on heaven's. He's like knocking on heaven's door. So he don't have much time. He's trying to win. I don't know that this does it, but It's knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. We'll see what happens. Everyone's grading it an F. I don't think it's an F. Because what if, you know what I mean? What if Kirk Cousins goes down? Then this becomes an A all of a sudden. Or what if Kirk just doesn't look good? This becomes an A because Penix is a ready-made quarterback. And what if, this isn't a pick for this year, guys. This is a pick for years 2 through 15, potentially. That's what people don't understand. Kirk Cousins is already, 37? He's not going to be on this team that much longer. So you got to understand, this is a long play. So this is, I don't agree with the F. I thought this was a good pick. Obviously, you could have probably moved back and still got him and got more assets for it. But I understand what they did there. And watch, all these people that are giving Fs, all their favorite teams, they're going to need a backup quarterback when their quarterback goes down. And they're going to realize why Atlanta did this. All right, Chicago, they picked Odunze. I had them picking a corner because I thought they were going to go double trouble and have 2 lockdown guys. That would have been amazing. But I can understand why they did this. Rome Odunze had the highest character. 6'3", 6'4", big body guy. Young guy that can come in with Caleb. You already have 2 receivers there. Now their receiver room is stacked with great guys that we know can ball. So it works. We know it works there. They have a good tight end. They got running backs. This is probably the best situation of any quarterback as a rookie has ever gone into ever. And it's by far. It's never been a situation like this where you can just walk in. The closest thing to this I can think of, I can't even think of anything because I was going to say the Jaguars, but that wasn't a good situation. What was a good situation? Maybe the Eagles with Carson Wentz before he turned into a bad quarterback. But there really haven't been too many. Oh, Justin Herbert had a good situation, but the coach sucked. So the point I'm saying is most rookies, when you do good and you're the top pick, you go to a shitty team. Potential to do something special, something we've never seen before. And it would be pretty cool to see him versus Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Imagine the NFL does that for us. Who are they going to rig to win? Let's see it. All right, now we got Minnesota picking J.J. McCarthy. I like this pick. They end up moving 1 spot up, so that tells you that they didn't like him that much. They probably didn't. I don't understand why they moved up because the Jets weren't going to pick J.J. McCarthy. So I'm kind of scratching my head, and that shows you the NFL is rigged right there. Oh, how do we give the Jets their pick back? Oh, let's make the Minnesota Vikings move up 1 slot for no reason at all and give them an extra pick that they lost in the Aaron Rodgers trade to even them out. You see how they did that? Like, there's no reason that I can compute in my mind why you would do this. Because the Jets were never going to pick McCarthy, ever. I know they need a quarterback. They really do. But they're not worrying about that right now. They're going to worry about that later. They're going to be fucked if Aaron Rodgers goes down. But that tells you that Aaron Rodgers is not going to go down, guys. You know what I mean? It's already written in the stars. He's going to be there all year. You know what I mean? If he wasn't, because that's why they had Zach Wilson last year, because they knew he was going to go down, you know. That's why we're trading him, because Aaron Rodgers is going to be fine now. Now they're drafting linemen and all this shit. So I'm not buying all that bullshit. So right here, JJ. Honestly, JJ just had to go to the right place, and this is the furnished apartment right here. He went to Minnesota. They got the offensive coach. You got probably the best receiver in the league. You know, Addison on his 2nd year. This is a good situation, and he doesn't have to play right away. They have Sam Darnold, so Donald's gonna take the first few snaps. I don't know how long that's gonna be, but Donald is gonna show him the ropes. Mature guy he can learn from. Not a great player, but you know, a good pro. You know, so we'll see how that goes. Oxy, but that's about it. I don't see anything special about him. Any other draft 10 years ago, he's a 5th round pick. You know what I mean? Like, he's not really anything special. Jim Harbaugh basically hyped him up. If it wasn't for Harbaugh saying all the shit he said, he probably would be a 3rd round pick, for being honest. So this is courtesy of Jim Harbaugh getting him paid. So, all right. Next pick, Jets. They pick this tackle. They already got 2 tackles, so I don't know what they're going to do. They're probably going to move him inside, or one of these guys inside. He's a mauler as well. A lot of these tackles are big-time 6'8" maulers. So, like I said, I'm never mad at an O-line pick. I would have liked to see them pick even the tight end here, Brock Bowers. I didn't think Brock Bowers would even make it this far down here, guys. Like, you can get that again later or next year. Like, I thought they should have picked a weapon, man. Because I know you have Mike Williams, but guess what? The dude hasn't finished a season ever, and he's been around for 4 or 5 years. So that's a problem. The other guy, I can't. His name escapes me, but their number one guy, he's been pretty good. But if you get a tight end there, a sure thing, like Bowers is, that just turns everything around. Like, literally. Even if you get another receiver. I'm actually not too crazy about them getting a receiver. I'd rather them a tight end. But I didn't think Brock Bowers would be around. That's the only reason I had the Jets picking Odunze. Because I thought the Titans would pick the tight end, as they should. They don't have a tight end to speak of at all. So, they're going to pay for that, and so will the Jets. All right, next, we have Andy Dalton with good hair. I mean, Bo Nix. That's what he is. He's Andy Dalton with good hair, you know? And that's it. Picture Andy Dalton the way he played, and that is Bo Nix. The same kind of mobility, same kind of style, arm angles. Maybe a little more athletic, Bo Nix is. But the same kind of idea. And guess what? Andy Dalton took you to the playoffs, right? I think he won a couple playoff games, you know? Like, this ain't a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I mean, he's like a little Drew Brees. He got some Drew Brees in him, you know? You could draw shit up, tell him, this is what we're doing, get the ball here and look here. He'll listen to you, he'll get the ball right he needs to be. He's not Mahomes by any stretch. He's not a creative improviser like that. He's just going to run your offense, and he's going to run your scheme the way you need. And that's what Sean Payton wants. That's not how Russell Wilson plays. Russell Wilson doesn't follow a playbook. Russell Wilson follows his instincts. You know, he's an instincts type quarterback. That's not what Peyton wants. Peyton wants a quarterback that follows his scheme. That's why this will work. This is also not really a furnished apartment because the Broncos kind of suck, but the coach, you know, the philosophy, that's what makes it furnished for him. A guy like Bo, just like McCarthy, those two guys need to go to the right place. All right, next, Las Vegas capitalizing on 12 other teams' mistakes. Well, really, 9 other teams, because 3 out of those 12 were always going to pick quarterback. But really, and actually Atlanta, they don't need a tight end. So really, 8 out of those 12 teams should have been looking at this guy. Like, really. This is basically George Kittle, they're saying. I don't really like the pick for Las Vegas because they have like 3 tight ends. Like, I don't understand why they picked him. This is kind of, I'm scratching my head because they don't need this. They didn't, like, I understand he's a great player, but you have tight ends already. You drafted one last year and the year before. You have Devontae. Like, you need more pass rushers. Like, there's just so many things that you need, and you got a tight end, something you didn't need. I love the player. I hate the pick for the team. That's it. That's all I can say. Like, it just doesn't make sense. I guess that's what the Raiders do. Shit that doesn't make sense. They don't even have a quarterback they truly believe in or the league believes in, which matters more. But I mean, this guy better be George Kittle, or this is just, you know what I mean? It makes no sense. And what about the other guys that you thought were going to be something? What do you do with them now? They're just in the whims, or are you going to play with 3 tight ends? We're showing when Joe Burrow stays healthy, you win big. So that's all I protect. I had them picking Tyler Guyton because Matthew Stafford's getting hit so much, guys. Like, he gets hit so fucking much. And I think, the last 3 years for them, he's been getting hurt. So, like, why are you not protecting him? They still have not solved the Andrew Whitworth situation. And they already proved if you have a left tackle for this guy, he wins big. So why the fuck are you not getting him a left tackle? Like, I understand you want an edge guy. Everyone wants an edge guy. But why the fuck are you not protecting your own main asset? If Matthew Stafford goes down, your season's over. So why the fuck aren't you protecting him? I don't understand that. Really need that? They really needed a receiver, I thought. They don't need O-linemen. Their O-linemen are fine. But I get it. What are you going to do with offense and pass catchers? Unless they're probably going to do it in the second. Okay. If they can get 2 corners, guys, they're going to be very dangerous because their receivers are set. Tight end still there. Running backs still there. Quarterback obviously still there. O-line minus Kelsey. They're probably going to draft a center, right? You're not going to be able to replace Kelsey, but you're still going to have a body there. So, but Kelsey is going to be a huge loss, and they're going to emphasize that on the TV. They're going to make sure we know that Kelsey is no longer there, guys. You know what I mean? They're probably not going to be able to run that stupid whatever play they were doing, that butt whatever, or the butt push, whatever they call it, to beat the Chiefs if they got this corner. But right now, I just don't think the Bears have enough cover guys. You know, they have Jalen Johnson, but he can only cover one guy. Now, if you have two of them, and then you know what I mean, and then maybe you can draft another. Because beating the Chiefs is about covering their receivers. Can you cover their receivers? Most teams cannot. They don't have enough corners. So, what are your questions about him? So, he really needs to bounce back. But I like the pick. Good pick. Who did I have them picking? I had them... Hold on one second. Oh, wait, no. I had the Jags picking Quinyon Mitchell, the cornerback. But... Oh, wait, no. Oh, that was earlier in the draft. Because we're on pick, what, 21? Wait, was that? Yeah. Pittsburgh, yeah, because Pittsburgh, I had them picking the receiver. They had the O-lineman. Then Miami. I had Miami picking a corner, and they picked the edge. Can't go wrong either way, but they should have picked the corner. Eagles, I had them picking a different corner. Enos Rakeshaw, the speed guy. Yeah, Keon Coleman's the speed guy. So I had a receiver getting picked, same slot, different player, right? But same idea. All right, next pick, Detroit from the Cowboys. And they picked Terrion Arnold, the cornerback. And I had the Cowboys there picking Leggett, but it's not them. They traded it, so it's a corner. So they picked the corner for Detroit. I like that because I had Detroit picking a corner. No, I had them picking a receiver. Because they do need a receiver to help out Amon-Ra St. Brown, but they'll do that later. Good O-line. They have good O-linemen. I don't like the pick either. I'd even go... But then again, you can't go wrong with them. But they could have done something else. They're like too scared to pick a bust. Oh, I don't want to bust on the first round. O-lineman. It's like, oh, come on, bro. Robinson, but he got picked already, so they got Darius Robinson. I don't like the pick. How are you letting the Chiefs trade with you? If I'm the Bills, I'm not going to trade with the Chiefs. Oh, so the team that we can't beat in the playoffs, oh, you want to take my pick so you can move up to be better than us? Oh, sure. That's what they just... Get the fuck out of here. And you're telling me this ain't rigged football? There's no way in fuck that the Bills are letting the Chiefs do this. So now you basically just let the Chiefs move up to draft basically Deshaun Jackson. That's who Xavier Worthy is. Xavier Worthy is basically Deshaun Jackson. And they already just picked up Marquise Brown. They have Rashee Rice. This offense might be more explosive than it's ever been now. They have literally 3 guys that can flat out fly. And they still have Kelsey. This team might three-peat, guys. And I'm not just saying that. Like, they're doing this for a reason. They're showing us something. I know this guy is small. I know all these other things. But so is Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? All right, now, but then again, you could say to me, Sky Moore didn't work, right? Kadarius Toney only worked for 1 season. I get it. So we're just going to have to see how it goes. I think he'll be all right. Is this him right here? Yeah, this is him right here. He's a little guy, but he's a speed demon. All right, so Cowboys, they end up picking Tyler Guyton. That's a great pick. And that's what Dallas does. They pick up O-lineman and running back. I thought they were going to pick up that running back. But Jerry was probably like, I want him. And then his son was like, Steve was like, no, we can't do this. We can't do first-round running backs anymore. And so, yeah, I thought they were going to go receiver. But this is good, too. Because you lost Tyron Smith to the Jets. So now you replace him. So that's great. Tyler Guyton's amazing. So that's going to be very, very good for them. I like the pick. So that shores up their O-line. That helps Dak, who's completely, grossly overpaid. And this is a make-it-or-break-it year for him for sure. All right, next, Nate Wiggins, Baltimore. I had Baltimore picking the corner, and I had them picking Nate Wiggins. That's funny. Like that's like so impossible to be able to pick the 30th pick. Like I don't know how I did that. But all right, so cool. Nate Wiggins. We looked at his tape. This dude is basically Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, if it's the guy that I'm thinking of. So yeah, Nate Wiggins picking a corner or wide out. So that's gonna fit for them. Ricky Parcel, that definitely works. I know they don't like the pick, but guess what? The coach knows what he already has a plan for the guy. You know what I mean? I don't even question him anymore unless it's in a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I only question the dude if he's playing in a Super Bowl. Any other game, oh yeah, he'll win. He'll scheme it up. They'll do fine. But if Shanahan's in a Super Bowl, I don't trust him. He's probably scripted to lose everyone. They might give him one late in his career when he's old, after we've seen him grow old and everything like his dad. But he's going to have to go through it. To get someone, Xavier going to help them. Big body guy. That's going to help Bryce a little bit. They still have a lot of work to do, but you got to start somewhere. I wonder how much they traded away to get that pick, though. That's what I'm wondering. Hopefully they didn't trade too much because they need a lot of help. They're probably going to have to draft